Hello, everybody. I'm George Dobell. He's Joe Root, and this is Polite Enquiries. Beautifully done. Risty. Charlie Reynolds asks, vegetable, square, tree, or canal? What's your favourite route and why?
Oh, I'd certainly not a canal. I've had one of those and they're horrible. I would say vegetable. You can enjoy a vegetable, can't you?
Anushka asks, what is the most enjoyable cricket match you've ever been a part of?
Oh, I mean, the first two that spring to mind would be the World Cup final, Headingley. But that's probably looking at back at them retrospectively. I think at the time they were very stressful. So I'd have to say probably my debut. I didn't think I stopped. My test debut, I don't think I'd stop smiling for that full 5 days. I was just in awe to be there. Some of the other players around me, some of the greats of English cricket, some of the greats of Indian cricket. So yeah, I look back on that very fondly.
Husnain asks, who are the most challenging bowlers you've faced?
I'd say Ryan Harris. I thought he was a wonderful bowler that was scuppered through injury and should have played a lot more for Australia. And Syed Ajmal. I didn't get to face him in his absolute peak. I think once he had to remodel his action and came back and played for Worcester, and I faced him in a county game. But he was still very skillful, very wily, had the ability to take the ball both ways, and you could see why he'd had so much success throughout his career.
Sabashik asks, and I can imagine what your answer is here. If you could choose only one, which would it be? Winning against India in India or winning the Ashes in Australia?
It's the impossible question, isn't it? I'm going to be quite having already been a part of a series that's a team that's won in India. I'm going to have to say in Australia, but it certainly is a huge aspiration of mine. Is to this time round in particular for us to do something very special.
Pie Chucker's Cricket Podcast asks, are you even aware of the term Fab Four that people keep referring to? I know you are. And have you joked about it with any of the other three? I should specify this is not a question about the Beatles.
It's never been discussed with me with any of the other guys. But I certainly look at those three fellas and the way that they play, and I mean, all for different reasons about how they go about their business. I think they're wonderful to learn from.
Have you ever met any of the Beatles?
No, I've never met. Oh, actually, I've met Paul McCartney at Lord's once. He was going to the gym. He walked past and said, just sort of waved hello, and I can't remember, I think it was with Finney actually, and we both just looked at each other like, what's just happened?
Nick asks, did you give Dickwella a spare bat? And we should tell people that during the test series, during the testing call, one of the testing call, he was so impressed with the way you were hitting the ball that he asked if he could have one of your spare bats.
No, I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't. They're all too good to give away, I'm afraid. So they're safely locked away, ready for this series.
Now a nice deep question. Matt Dipple asks, would you rather fight 100 duck-sized George Dobells or one George Dobell-sized duck, which sounds like a majestic creature?
I think 100 George Dobells would scare the life out of me, so I think I'd have to take the duck on.
Kunal asks, you're 30, usually seen as when batsmen reach their peak. Do you feel you're at your best, or the best is still to come? And he also says, could you wish him a happy birthday?
Yeah, Kunal, many happy returns. I hope you have a wonderful birthday. I'd like to think that still the best is to come. Certainly working towards that, certainly driven, and it's still midway through my career. I want to play for as long as I can, play many games as possible for England, and I'll certainly try and make sure that I'm constantly improving and evolving as a player.
Tom Rigby asks, do you still have ambitions to make the squad for the T20 World Cup?
Yeah, I do. I'd love to be a part of that T20 squad. Big tournaments like the World Cup, T20 World Cup, 50 World Cup, Ashes series, away series in India. They're all big events that you want to be involved in. I'd love to try and force my way into that squad, but ultimately, more than anything, I want to see England go and win. And if I'm not in that squad, then I will be certainly behind all of those guys, wishing them all the very best to go and hopefully do something special.
And Sam Eastwood asks, Snog, marry, avoid Kane Williamson, Steve Smith, or Virat Kohli?
I'll take it metaphorically in terms of their batting. Well, or if there's no prenup, I'd take Virat as married. I think that would be the other way of doing it.
Nice.
But I would say a brief encounter with Kane, because that's what happened at Yorkshire. He played for us for a little bit, managed to experience that, playing alongside him and watch him go about things close hand. Virat, I think, has just got a wonderful all-round game. He's an incredible player, and unfortunately that means that Steve Smith would miss out. But again, I do admire him. I think he's found his own way of doing things. It's very different and unorthodox, and for the amount of runs he scored against England, I would avoid him, because I've seen enough of him.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content plus live streaming, make sure to subscribe to ESPN Player.